Hey, I'm Chris. I live in Las Vegas and I love guitars. And lately, I've been mixing my love of guitars with meditation and mindfulness. And I thought today I would show you guys how to meditate and how to make a crystal grid. So, first of all, what is a crystal grid? A crystal grid is a form of stones that you put in a different formation in order to use in aid of meditation. Now, I don't rightly practice magic anymore, but I am all about meditation and mindfulness and finding that still quiet place in your mind or in your life, in your environment, in order to help better think about the things that are happening in your life, to compartmentalize information. And meditation is a great way of doing so. So I completely practice it and I recommend it. So back to what a crystal grid is. A crystal grid is a form of crystals that you use in a shape in order to better, you could use it to focus on, you could use it to focus on in aid of meditation. And a lot of people use crystals for healing and all sorts of different practices. So let's start with what a crystal grid looks like. So, a crystal grid can be any form or shape of crystals. Usually it has to have some kind of purpose, some kind of meaning, some kind of symbolism. And that could be in any way, shape, or form of the person who is making that crystal grid. And as well, it always helps in the meditation itself. Sometimes people feel that meditation is really just sitting in that quiet place, projecting themselves away, maybe daydreaming away. They wouldn't understand that at the same time, even putting all of your things together for your meditation itself is the meditation. So, going back to the crystals, I have a big handful of raw crystals that I found in the desert, and I will show you a couple of different formations that make a great crystal grid. Now, if you've ever meditated and you've put crystals in a circle or you've sat in a circle of crystals, that in and of itself is a crystal grid. So, a nice, simple circle crystal grid. If you could see it. Now, of course, the ancients invented geometric shapes, and geometric shapes are all about crystal meditation as well. So, of course, it could be a square. If you think in those terms in your life, then your crystal grid can be a square. Let's see. Your crystal grid could be a square if you want it to be. Or your crystal grid could be a triangle if you think better in terms of organization in triangles. Or your crystal grid could be, let's see, maybe a heart shape. We all know what a heart symbol means. Let's see if I can do a heart. Let's see. Yeah, that's a nifty little heart. So, now, shapes and symbols. When it comes to making a crystal grid, the most important thing with your shapes and symbols is that you create something that is a reflection of the person who is meditating. So if your favorite shape is a cross, then make a cross. If your favorite shape is a circle, make a circle. If your favorite shape is a heart, make a heart. That is the magic of your crystal grid. So, crystal grids can be simple, like a couple of simple crystals, and they can get more complicated. Let's say you're going to use bigger stones. Let's say you're going to make more complex shapes and patterns. So that's when maybe gemology would come into play. So in the study of stones, there is an idea that different stones emit different kinds of energy, and different stones have different kinds of characteristics to them. So For example, your clear quartz crystal recommend reflects clarity and understanding and information. And let's say you have another stone like a rose quartz. A rose quartz, a lot of people symbolize roses with love and the heart and the idea of love and the feelings of love and appreciation. So you'd maybe use a rose quartz in your crystal grid. Another stone is amethyst. A lot of people believe amethyst as being a healing crystal, a crystal for purification, a crystal for psychic awareness. So if you were going to make a crystal grid, you might want to use different stones to reflect what you want your meditation to be like. So when it comes to meditation in crystal grids, in crystal stones, what does any of this have to do with synthesizers? Let me tell you, I am not the first person to combine music and sound with crystals. So I thought it would be groovy to use my synthesizers in aid of my own meditation. And the crystals are just a little icing on the cake. I do believe in mindfulness and I do believe in meditation. Even though I am not a practitioner of magic anymore, I do believe in using tools in order to better focus in your life, in order to use practical problem-solving skills. Mindfulness and meditation is a great tool for that. So let's make a little bit more of a complicated crystal grid so you could see exactly how I think when I am in my meditation. Now there can be 3 different components when it comes to making a crystal grid for meditation. And I like to call them the 3 S's. Now, the first one is sounds, smells, and stones. Now, the last one we covered the stones. Another one that you were seeing floating above you is smells. What is smells? Well, incense. I like burning incense for my meditation, so smells. Now, the third element would be, for a nice crystal grid, would be sounds. So, a lot of people tend to believe that sounds, when added to meditation, can calm the human being's nervous system. And this is not untrue. Sounds are perfect for that. Music, as we understand it, singing, humming, a lot of things tend to calm down a human being. As simple as a mom holding her child and humming can calm down that child sometimes. So, again, stones. We have smells and sound. So, a lot of people also believe if you use sound, sonic energy, through your stones, like a sound bath, and through human beings' living tissue, that these things can be therapeutic. So if you do a search on YouTube about sound bath or a light bath or meditation or vibrations, stuff like that, they're all pretty much doing the same thing. They're trying to use sound as a healing element. I am not sure if that's coming through the microphone, but that is the note C. This is a tuning fork. When you hit it, it makes a sound of a note, a beautiful humming sound. And when you touch it to a certain object, that sound and vibration will vibrate through that object. Again, tuning fork. A really good instrument for sound, of course, in meditation is a bell. And a lot of people will ring a bell at the beginning of a meditation or at the end of meditation in order to signal both the beginning of the end of that kind of mindfulness. So, ringing a bell. A great way to quiet the mind and alert the mind that it's time to be quiet. So, when I'm out here and I'm putting together stones and I am playing music, what I am doing is an activity, a proactive activity, in order to be mindful, in order to be quiet, in order to think about the problems going on in your life and hopefully finding some sort of answer when you come to the end of your meditation. Of course, the stones and crystals, it's really just pretty things to look at. All of these things can be done without all of the accoutrements, but again, it makes the activity, the physical activity, can be very therapeutic in and of itself. So next time I do this, I will put together a beautiful crystal grid, and I will put together my speakers, and I will play a guitar, and then let's just see how 60s funky psychedelic we can get. Hugs, health, happiness from Las Vegas.